If you don't mind, Eddie, I'd like to do a short video of what you're doing.
Oh,
You don't feel like doing a video?
well, I don't like being photographed.
You don't like being...
My mother.
Huh? Well, you shouldn't mind now. You know, you've slimmed down quite a bit. You're looking good these days.
Thanks. Well, I guess the black shirt stays it down on camera.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I look at myself on camera like, oh my God, I'm so fat. I'm as big as a house.
Well, that was last year. No,
now
you're...
it's going as big as a storage shed.
No, you're starting to look like a young man again.
Oh, thanks.
I notice you have more energy when you walk up the stairs these days. And you also have more energy in what you do when you go outside. So basically you walked over to the store to get some more ice for this cooler.
Yeah.
And you got a loaf of bread, and on your way back you had an empty grocery bag.
Yeah.
And you filled it with all these cans
Yes.
that you found. And you do this pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And what you do is, you don't have to, when you turn in the cans for cash, they don't have to be clean, but we do have to store them here for a while before we cash them in. And so what you
don't
do,
want bugs in the house.
yeah, so what you do is you wash them, or you just rinse them off.
Yeah.
And that gets rid of the smell. Mostly they smell like stale beer.
Yeah.
Or they,
They stay
And also-
in the shade.
if they...
They were last night. The beer is still cool. You could drink it. But,
Oh, God.
I'm not going to drink somebody else's beer.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay. So this is what we have for... This is our sink. And this water bottle over here is our water faucet.
Yeah.
And our water supply is down here.
Right.
And we fill 2 or 3 of these jugs at a public water fountain at a park down the street every morning, and we also drain ice melt out of. Let's see. There it is. There's the plug. We drain ice melt out of that, and that adds up to about a gallon.
Goddamn bastards! I hate smokers.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess things were better when smokers were still accepted by society, because then they usually put stuff in the ashtray. They don't like.
Oh, you mean you're finding cigarette butts in some of these cans?
Yeah, it really.
And it's really nasty. Yeah. Yeah. Well, smoke. It's very difficult for a smoker to quit, even though now, smokers are almost pariahs. You're not allowed to smoke in public anymore, and but tobacco and nicotine, it reprograms, your metabolism and your desires, and it's very, very difficult for people to quit. So they go outside to smoke, and of course nobody provides ashtrays anymore. So they end up in some of these.
Yeah, the worst is parents who smoke.
Well, yeah, because, that generation, they have, they still have the infrastructure, their own infrastructure that allows them to smoke. You can smoke in your own car, you can smoke in your own house, and if you're, if you're retirement age and your house is paid for and, you've got retirement funds, you can still maintain a car and a house and you can smoke. And those are basically the people who are smoking. Mm-hmm. It's the older generation, and eventually they're going to die out. And basically, the only populations that are going to keep the tobacco companies afloat are going to be the Chinese, mm-hmm. The Chinese and the Indians, and Malay. Basically people in Asia. Mm-hmm. Okay. You're doing
the Chinese government and the Indian government will say, "You give us raw tobacco."
Well, you think they will? Yeah, because the Chinese and Indian governments, Yeah, they'll buy raw tobacco as a commodity, and they'll be processing it themselves and be making that money.
And Americans be too stupid enough to sign the deal.
Well, you know, here in America, the conventional wisdom is, you know, everything's going to be technology. Everything's going to be computers and technology and nanotechnology, and we're all going to be saved by technology and rising real estate values.
Our Lord and Savior, technology, and rising real estate prices.
Yeah.
The new gods replacing sex and horror.
Sex and horror? What? Those were the gods of what? The 80s?
Yeah, according to that group that did the song "Two Tribes Go to War."
Oh,
and,
I never knew what the lyrics were about.
I think it was "Welcome to the Pleasure Dome."
That wasn't that Frankie Goes to Hollywood?
Yes.
Wow, boy, we're old. we know the names of 80s groups. Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Well, technology and rising real estate prices will enslave you more than sex and horror ever did.
Yeah.
Which enslaved
Yeah, because sex and horror.
Jesus Christ would do.
Well, sex and horror gets old and boring after a while, but rising real estate values basically ensure everyone to be enslaved to mortgage payments that never end.
Yeah.
At least that's our humble opinion, isn't it? Of course, we're somewhat biased because we're near homeless. We're a couple of guys who are near homeless, living in an abandoned house.
Yeah. Well, also if you don't get help with your down payment from parents and other relatives, you know, you can never buy a house.
Well,
and you end up with rising rents. You're enslaved to rising rents without end. At least with mortgage payment.
Mortgage payment is a form of rent control, but no one ever taught me that because no one around me ever talked about it. You know, but you know, I come from a very low functioning family.
I should have sued Kit the King's pants off, you know, because thanks to the Boston Church of Christ, I wasn't able to take advantage of Cambridge rent control for, you know, a few more years so I could save up to buy a house.
And that was the point of what the old rent control programs were supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Eddie's going to take this bucket. We're walking over the fire hole. Let's see. You doing the Garday Loo?
Garday Loo.
Yeah.
It was full of stale beer and tobacco juice and nasty old cigarettes.
Okay, so that's how we drain our sink essentially, by dumping it out here on these banana trees.
And the banana trees love it.
Yeah. We just, you know, there's a little patch of ground around the concrete downstairs.
Yeah.
And these banana trees actually do grow bananas.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.